What's up? Welcome back to Trash Man MMA. I'm the Trash Man, and today, or yesterday I should say, Dana White has an announcement for all of us. Announcements. So let's see what he has to say about it.
Welterweight champion Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he took a fighter in the world in 23, 24, and 25. He cleaned out that division, and he has decided to take his 15-fight win streak and move up to attempt to become one of a few fighters in UFC history to win belts in two different divisions. Della Maddalena has won 18 fights in a row, just beat Bilal Muhammad for the welterweight title. This is literally the definition of a super fight. So that's the main event. Champion versus champion, Madison Square Garden. UFC strawweight champion.
So there you have it. I think this video so shit. So there you have it. Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. UFC 322, the main event. Islam Makhachev moving up in weight from 155 to 170. As we all know, I mean, this fight is really much of an announcement. We've kind of just already known about this for quite a while. I mean, Makhachev literally gave his belt up, and the whole purpose of, all right, when is this going to be announced? Khabib and all his team have kind of just been saying, yeah, November 15th is going to be the day, UFC 322. It was just unofficial all those times, but what an exciting matchup for both these fights. Like Dana White said, this is the definition of a super fight, and I completely agree. I can't think of one fight that is more hype than this besides Verona Jandaroba versus Mackenzie Dern, because we all love that fight. We all can't wait for that one. But no, but in all seriousness, besides, like, I don't know, like, who has more hype than this, you know? What champion has more hype than Makhachev and Della Maddalena? Obviously, Della Maddalena isn't like a fucking, a hype machine, you know? But a lot of people give him respects because of who he is, how he fights, and the style he has. But like next to this, a matchup that would bring in as much eyes, I would think it would be like a Tom Aspinall type fight. This is genuinely the biggest fight of recent times. Not quite as big as Makhachev versus Volkanovski, but just as it's a little bit beneath that. Makhachev is the face of both of those ones. He's the A side, but this is a tough fight for both of them, Della Maddalena only has 2 wins by submission in his entire career. I don't think he's going to be submitting Makhachev, but I think that shows a lack of versatility in that area. Makhachev has shown in recent fights, bro, if you rewatch some of Makhachev's fights, man, with his, like, against Oliveira, like, his striking looks so bad. It looks so bad. And even at glimpse, at times, of his fight with Moicano, he doesn't look that good. In times, Then you have some exchanges with him and a Dustin Poirier, where yeah, he's looking really good, but I think if Dustin Poirier is ripping body shots on you like that up against the fence, and you're struggling to get a knee up, I think that's bad looks for you. I think that's bad looks, and I think that's a part in Maddalena's game where he's not going to be slowing down. He showed against Bilal that he only heats up, which I think is something to show. We've seen Makhachev slow down a little bit. We've seen him fail those takedowns in the 5th round against Volkanovski. We've seen that happen, and we've only seen Maddalena in that 5th round putting pressure, non-stop, unrelenting gas, just going forward, pressure, body shots, and he's a nasty dude in that clinch. He's a nasty dude in that boxing range. It'll be trouble for Makhachev, but I do think he does have his toughest test to date in front of him in Maddalena, a bigger dude. Extremely good boxer, extremely good scrambles as well. Scrambles next to, like, honestly, I don't know who's a better scrambler to get back to their feet than Maddalena. I mean, maybe you can argue Joshua Van is just as good, but Joshua Van has never went up against the likes of Bilal Muhammad. So I don't know. This is a tough one for both of them. I could see Maddalena does, like I said, he does scramble a lot, and maybe somebody like Makhachev can kind of read his scrambles and direct them in a way he wants them to get, and perchance get that Darce choke in there somewhere, that anaconda. Definitely a possibility, but with Craig Jones in Maddalena's corner, I think this is a big tough test for Makhachev, and he's 34, or he's gonna be 34 at the time of this fight, which is worrying a little bit. We have a 29-year-old Maddalena and a 34-year-old Makhachev. We genuinely only have like one or two more Makhachev fights left. Three if we're lucky. Three if we're lucky. Two. Okay, look, three is pushing it. Two if we're lucky. One more. 1 to 2 more, man. So I'm excited that this is one of them. But on to the next. Bald man, I guess I could go back to this video, yeah? Let's see what else he has to say.
Weili Zhang has accomplished all there is to accomplish at 115 pounds, so she's now going to vacate her title and move up and challenge Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight championship.
Did she really accomplish all that she wanted to accomplish, or are you forcing her to get rid of her belt to move up to 125?
In the co-main event of UFC 322. Number 1 pound for pound versus number 2 pound for pound. Talk about another super fight. Shevchenko's the best flyweight in UFC history and holds basically every record in the division, including most wins, most knockouts, most takedowns, and Weili is the first Chinese champion ever and one of the most dominant strawweight champions in UFC history. She's finished 19 of her 26 wins and now looks to become just the second woman to win a UFC belt in 2 different divisions by taking on Shevchenko. So, UFC 322, 2 super fights, November 15th in New York City, Madison Square Garden. Also on the card.
There you have it. Same card as Makhachev versus Maddalena. Hold on. Fuck me, man. I fucking clicked the wrong button. Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. You see Zhang Weili vacating her strawweight belt to move up to a flyweight and take on Shevchenko for the undisputed championship of the world. Pound for pound 1, pound for pound 2 going at it. I don't know who's pound for pound 1, and I don't know who pound for pound 2 is, but I would assume Weili's pound for pound 1. This is dope. This is hype. I can't even lie. This is hype, bro. This is fucking hype. Like, hey, let's give a little clap for Bold Man Dana for this one, bro. This shit's hard. This shit's dope. Minus the vacating of a belt for Zhang Weili. This shit is fire, man. Like, look at this. Belt for belt. Like, you can't tell me that shit don't go hard compared to this, man. Like, we know Makhachev's a champion. Where's this belt at, dude? That shit, oh my gosh, if I click the wrong button one more time, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. This is hard though, man. I have a sticker of Zhang Weili shorts on my laptop as we speak, bro. The laptop that this shit is being recorded on, I have a sticker of Zhang Weili's custom shorts, bro. I'm a Zhang Weili glazer. That's my wife. Hype fight, dude. They're both old on the older end, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say they're like, I don't think either of them are under 35. If I'm remembering correctly, women fighters do. It's funny enough, they do have a tendency to be a little bit older than the men's side. So yeah, Zhang Weili's 36, or at least she's gonna be 30. No, yeah, she's 36, and Valentina Shevchenko is 37. So a little bit, both on a little bit on the older side, but still holding shit down. Zhang Weili has been looking really dominant in her last fights. Completely out wrestled and out grappled Tatiana Suarez in that fight. Had a little bit of trouble against Yan Xiaonan, but overall she kind of just dominated. Dominated Amanda Lemos. It wasn't even a question. Rear naked choked Carla Esparza. Joanna Jacek, and then her last losses are to Rose Namajunas, so. Whereas Valentina Shevchenko, not that she hasn't been dominant in herself as she really has been. That Manon Fiorot fight was relatively dominant. She completely outclassed her on the feet a little bit, dropped her at times. Alexa Grasso got the unanimous decision, arguably twice over Alexa Grasso. Had that one slip up in round 4 against Alexa Grasso in their first fight. But before that, she's taking on Talia Santos and fucking Lerone Murphy, Jessica Andrade, Stanford Maya. Like, these are big names, but like I don't rate those. I rate Zhang Weili's championship reign far more. I think she's got this one not in the bag, but I think she has a grappling advantage. Shevchenko might be a little bit harder to hold down than Zhang Weili. Honestly, she might not be though, because I know Shevchenko's good, but Tatiana Suarez wasn't all that though. If we're really being honest, Tatiana Suarez, like, I don't know who would pick Tatiana Suarez to win that fight. I know a lot of people did, but under no circumstance was Tatiana Suarez ever gonna win that fight with wrestling. And Zhang Weili just completely out grappled her. Even though there was only one takedown apiece, Zhang Weili got like 11 minutes to Tatiana's 6 minutes of control time. So just a wrestling dominant performance from Zhang Weili. I don't know if she'll be able to do the same thing to Shevchenko due to the weight, and Shevchenko is a really good grappler in her own right. Uh, uh, Hold on. Um, yeah, Shevchenko's a dominant grappler in her own right, and sorry, just gotta fucking hell, man, fuck off. I don't know. I think Zhang Weili's got this one, man. I think she's got this one. She's a little bit younger, and I just like her quickness on the feet a little bit more. Although Shevchenko is fast, this is tough. You know what? I want to go for Weili just because I'm a huge fan for Weili, but actually, I think Shevchenko's kind of got this one. I think she's as competitive on the feet. I think she's no, my bad. I think she's as competitive on the ground, and I think she's has a little bit of an edge on the feet. You know, I think she has that snappy movement just a little bit more than Zhang Weili. I'd have to rewatch some fights, but I think Zhang isn't as fast as Shevchenko, surprisingly. But on to the next man. We got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Now, Leon Edwards, number 4, Carlos Prates, number 9 in the world. I'm super surprised at this fight being made because I was just looking at the rankings probably 2 days ago, and I seen Prates. I was like, there's nobody that you can really match Prates up in the rankings, as I don't see how he deserves it when he just lost to Ian Gary. Granted, he got a win back over Jeff Neal, and Ian Gary hasn't done much since then. And apparently, allegedly, Ian Gary has been ducking Sean Brady in a fight. As you guys probably saw in his story, he was saying that Vancouver match, that Vancouver main event between Anthony Hernandez and Rainer de Ritter, that was supposed to be his main event against Ian Gary, but Ian Gary didn't sign the contract fast enough. Therefore, it being somebody else's main event now. I see this is very tough for Prates. This is very tough. I don't know how tall Leon Edwards is. I don't believe he's as tall as an Ian Gary. I do believe the tallness and range of Ian Gary is what gave Carlos Prates so much like hard of a time. Ian Gary isn't afraid to be on the back foot and just kind of skirt around the cage. But then again, neither is Leon Edwards. Although I think Leon Edwards is a little bit more inclined to bang in the pocket, but not necessarily in like pocket boxing range or anything. I'm not saying he's gonna be out there in the middle of the ring, fucking points to the ground like Max Holloway and slugging it out. I don't think that, but I think he's a little bit more inclined to have extended exchanges in the pocket with Carlos Prates than in Ian Gary. Ian Gary had a masterful game plan, just tag, 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 move, move, tag, move, and Carlos Prates was kind of just playing like the cat game of just chasing him the entire time, which did wear him out, did get him tired as to why he couldn't finish the fight in that 5th round. I think if Leon Edwards has a similar type of game plan, which he should if he's a similar stature, which I believe he is. I think I just see Ian Gary point 2, Ian Gary 2.0. Like this is or 1.0. Ian Gary was like fucking Leon Edwards 2.0. You know what I'm saying? So how can you really, if you can't beat the copy, How you gonna beat the main man? If you can't beat the copy, how you gonna beat the original? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the shit I don't get. Like, if I don't see, like, I see a path for victory for Carlos Prates, obviously, but I just see it as being a not a stylistic nightmare. I think a stylistic nightmare would be like a Kamaru Usman or somebody like that. Um, I just when you have an exciting striker and you have a boring striker in Leon Edwards and Ian Gary, I think they can bore it enough to win. I feel like they can. Like, similar in how when you have two exciting strikers going up against each other, it's boring. I feel like Leon Edwards has everything capable that a Ian Gary has to make this fight slow, to drag it out. I wonder if this fight is 5 rounds or not. That's a good question. And I'm going to search that up live for you guys right now because I don't know. This is I highly doubt. Okay, my prediction. I highly doubt it's 5 rounds. Okay, yeah, of course it's 3 rounds. Uh, makes sense. Makes sense. But look at the stature. 6'2" for Leon to 6'1" for Carlos. 74 for Leon to 78 for Carlos. Damn, a 4-inch reach advantage for Carlos is kind of crazy. What was Ian Gary like? Ian Gary 6'3", tall motherfucker. Holy shit. Hold on, I accidentally got out of it. 6'3" and a 74-inch reach. So similar to that Leon Edwards. He's 27. Man, similar builds. Ian just a little bit taller, so maybe Carlos Prates won't have as much difficulty getting to him or landing shots on the chin. But I do believe the danger factor is all in favor of Carlos Prates. That's not even a question. If this fight goes to decision, I believe it's a Leon Edwards, maybe second and third round. Um, if Carlos Prates wins this fight, it's most definitely by. I can't see him getting it late in the rounds. I think once Leon Edwards knows, unless Carlos Prates wins the first round, then Leon Edwards kind of has to put pressure in that third. Maybe potentially getting countered by Prates. We've seen Prates counter Gary in the fifth round and almost putting him away. So maybe something of similar stature can happen if Leon Edwards isn't careful in trying to win that third round. If he loses that first, this is all speculation. But this is a tough fight, man. I'm a fence sit this one. I'm a fence sit this one. I'm gonna have to watch some. I'm gonna have to watch some replays. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna have to do some. How do you say? Some film study. I'm gonna do some film study for this one, but I'm excited for this one, man. That is all on UFC 322. I can't. Oh, there's a Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez matchup on that card too. As for anything else, I can't really remember. But before UFC 322, we have some matchups on UFC 321 that we'll go over right now. Verona Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern, fighting for Zhang Weili's old belt, old strawweight belt. She's vacating it, obviously, to go up to 125, so the 115 belt is up for grabs. And that is going to be between Verona Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern, number 2, a rematch, which I actually didn't even know this was a rematch. But I'm going Jandiroba. I think overall she's just slightly better. Apparently, Mackenzie Dern won the first fight. I'm not watching that shit. I'm going to tell you that right now, unless it was in like the past 2 years. But I just think I've seen Jandiroba kind of dominate opponents on the ground, and I haven't seen Mackenzie Dern dominate anybody on the ground. Besides that one, what was it, Amanda Lemos maybe? Or Amanda Hebos? One of the Amandas. I can't remember exactly which Amanda, but one of the Amandas, she did dominate, and it was relatively impressive. I'm not going to lie. Hold on. Mackenzie, there we go. Mackenzie Dern. She's 32, really hot. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So it was Amanda Hebos. She kind of dominated her on the floor, and then in the third round, she got that armbar. But before that, Lupi Godinez, UD, Amanda Lemos, UD lost, Jessica Andrade lost, Angela Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing a 50-50 fighter here, man. I'm literally seeing a 50-50 fighter here. And I think her loss is coming up. I don't see a world where we're going to see a 50-50 fighter go on a 3-fight win streak. Jandaroba is dominant right now. She's on a 5-fight win streak, dude. She has 14 wins by submission, man. Like, come on. Like, she did up Yan Xiaonan. She fucking armbarred Amanda Lemos. Lupi Godinez, unanimous decision. Marina Rodriguez, unanimous decision. Angela Hill, unanimous decision. Amanda Hebos, she lost to her. When the fuck did... 2020, they fought 5 years ago. And Mackenzie Dern won by unanimous decision. I just think Jandaroba has improved more. I'm a Jandaroba fan. I'm going for Jandaroba. If Mackenzie Dern fat ass wins the belt, though, I'm not going to complain. But I want Jandaroba to win the belt. But if she does, that'll probably absolutely kill the division. The only way to get Jandaroba any amount of hype is to have her fight Zhang Weili, which is what I thought should have been done. Then Weili could have went up. But now we have two unnamed women's flyweight fighter or strawweight fighters fighting for the belt. Why do they look so fat? They're at the thinnest weight division. Why do they look so fat? I don't get it. Anyways, same card. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. I thought Mario Bautista should have fought Sean O'Malley and Nurmagomedov fought Peter Yan, but it is what it is. We have this fight instead, and I'm not too mad about it. I haven't seen too many people. I do think Mario Bautista deserved this bump up, which I'm glad they're giving it to him. Just a little bit. Shit, they're giving him the toughest matchup to date. Big jump, man, from a Patchy Mix to a Nurmagomedov. Big jump. I know some people saying Bautista has some good takedown defense. He has good grappling, but I haven't really seen any of that. For the love of God, I've seen this kid get armbarred by Corey Sandhagen. What the fuck is Umar Nurmagomedov going to do to him? You know what I'm saying? This is a tough one, man. No, I don't know, man. In all, like, realistically, I'm going Nurmagomedov just because I know he wins. I know he wins. I know he finds a way to win. He had a good fight with Merab. Honestly, he's going to be the guy to beat Merab. I don't see anybody having a flying fucking chance to beat Merab. Besides Umar, I just think it's going to take a little bit more time and experience for Umar to get back to the belt. I think this and maybe one or two more fights and he'll be back to the belt, or fighting for it at least. And in the meantime, this is just... I want to say it's cannon fodder, but I can't even say that because I do think Mario Bautista is relatively good. He's relatively good. I think he can hang with the top dogs. I think if you were to give him Bautista or Corey Sandhagen again, I think they would have a good rematch. I think they would have a good fight. I'm not saying he would win or not, but I'm saying he could be competitive at times. I just think with the Nurmagomedov, I think the competition is going to be too much for him. Going from a Bellator bum to a UFC staple of a champion belt challenger, a world challenger. This is a huge step up for Mario Bautista. I don't know if he can step up to the plate to get it done, if I'm being honest. But leading Nurmagomedov probably like 70-30. Leaning Jandaroba kind of 60-40. Let's see what else. Leaning Prates. Actually, I don't know. This one I'm 50-50 on. 50-50. If I had to lean in favor of either one, I'd go 55-45 in favor of Edwards. Over here, probably around the same, 55-45 in favor of Shevchenko. And then over here, this is a tough one. And the guy on fence sitting, bro. 55-45 Jack Della Maddalena, man. This one's tough, dude. This one's really tough. But those are all the high-level fights that we have to go over. The only other fight that I want to just go over briefly at the end of this video would be this one. Walter Walker versus Muhammad Usman. I don't know if this is going to be the co-main event for the Rio de Janeiro card. I highly doubt it, although I think it should be. It'll be a good co-main event rather than an Anthony Hernandez and a Diego Ferreira, which recently got announced. Excuse me, I think this fight is a lot better. I can't believe Muhammad Usman is getting a ranked opponent, but he is. I think he's going to get slaughtered. I think there's going to be a fourth heel hook in a row for Walter Walker. I don't think Muhammad Usman is that good on the ground. We seen him just kind of lay on Junior Tafa for dead ass 15 minutes straight, and we didn't see him do anything with it. He Hamzat maxed before Hamzat did it. And it was a very boring performance. I don't think you're holding down Walter Walker like that. He's a big dude in his own right. He's not just a fat fucking middleweight. He actually is good. He actually has talent. He actually knows what to do on bottom position. Not that we've seen him in bottom position very much, but, you know, with his jiu-jitsu background, with his heel hook extensive training, I think he'll be able to get one over on Muhammad Usman. Now, that's all the fights we have to go over. Oh, what's his face? Hold on. What's his face? Oh, yeah, it never got announced. Oh, yeah, this fight. Kid pulled out, man. Raul Rosas Jr. pulled out, dude. Fucking tragedy, man. I hate to see it. We were going to maul this kid live in fucking San Antonio on UFC Noche, bro. We were going to maul this kid in the co-main event. They're working on getting an opponent next for Rob Font, though. Looking to get a replacement. So I hope we're able to get something done over. I hope we're able to get something over on this route over for Rob Font. You know, get him a different opponent. But that's all the fights that we have to go over today. Everything. You know, what's this? Is this a Diego Lopez Glaze post? Don't ever doubt Diego. Okay, kid. Okay. That's it. That's it, though. That's everything. That's everything, chat. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the whole video. Subscribe if you're new, and if you want, if you were feeling so generous, not subscribe, but you know, follow my YouTube, follow my Twitter. Twitter's right here. Same handle, Trashman MMA for both handles. And I'm working on getting it up. I do gotta put the rest of the stories up here. But thank you all very much for watching the video. Appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. I may be making a Kyle Barajo versus Nasruddin Imavov breakdown video soon, so be tuned for that. It might come out on the weekend. It might come out to what? Fuck, today's Friday already. Fuck. Yeah. Fuck. Damn. Shit. It'll come out soon, man. It'll come out soon, I promise. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. I'm a Trash Man. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it.